Yo, what is up guys? This is Nish for Techntravel, and in this video we are going to take an in-depth look at the TVS Electronics Gold Bharat mechanical keyboard. We all know that we get the best typing and gaming experience only on a mechanical keyboard, and that is why it is essential for anyone who is assembling a PC for gaming or any other kind of productive activity for that matter to shift to a mechanical keyboard as soon as possible, because the normal conventional keyboards simply cannot give as good an experience. Hence, I have decided that I will be categorizing this review of the keyboard into 5 main points: price, packaging, life of the keyboard, looks, and last but not the least, probably and possibly the most obvious, the mechanical keys themselves. Now firstly, let us talk about the price of this keyboard. I bought this keyboard for roughly around 2100 rupees, which translates to about 30-ish US dollars. So I guess you can say that this is possibly one of the cheapest mechanical keyboards available in the market as on date. Also, however, this is an actual proper mechanical keyboard and not just a keyboard with mechanical feel type keys on it, like so many other keyboards advertised on Amazon and other websites. However, why is it so cheap? It is pretty apparent, frankly, on just a preliminary glance as how everything looks. I will discuss this further into the video. Now, coming on to the second point, we have the overall life of the keyboard. The manufacturer claims that the keyboard is good for over 50 million key presses. Now, for my Indian viewers, it converts to 5 crore key presses, just to put it into perspective. Now it becomes quite difficult to comprehend how much 50 million turns out to be. So, on a rough calculation, if each key was to be pressed once every second, then it would take the keyboard 580 days till it fails. Now, if you look at it on its own, that is quite a bold claim by the manufacturer. However, if you take into consideration what other mechanical keyboard manufacturers claim, then it really isn't that big of a deal. Every other claims at least 70 million key presses. Now the third point is the packaging. The packaging of this keyboard is possibly the funniest thing you can see amongst all things computer related. The keyboard itself comes in a very cheap cardboard box, which surely would have been torn in shipping had it not been for the proper thick Amazon packaging above it. You guys can literally understand the packaging and the marketing department is severely lacking, because just by looking at the compatible operating systems list, I mean seriously, Windows 3.1, it still is mentioned Windows 3.1. I mean seriously guys, what the hell? Now there is literally no point talking more about the packaging, since there literally isn't anything more to talk about. Now coming on to the next point, it is the looks department. Now before we start discussing about the looks of this keyboard, let's agree on one thing straight. When we are paying 2000 rupees or around 30-ish US dollars for a full blown proper mechanical keyboard, there are going to be many areas where the company is going to cut costs. The easiest of the places for doing the same is the looks of the keyboard. Since the dawn of humanity, since the age of freaking dinosaurs, the look and feel of this keyboard hasn't changed even a little bit. Exactly the same material of plastic, exactly the same shape, size of the keyboard, and the same key layout. Even the same color of the num lock, scroll lock, and the caps lock key LEDs. But hey, there is one benefit though. Because they use such a thick plastic material, there is practically no flex on the keyboard at all. It is rock hard and sturdy, with 2 foldable feet also, I might mention. Now there are no backlit keys obviously, as you might have noticed by now. How can you even expect backlit keys? And I have to say, even after everything, the overall typing experience of the keyboard is not at all bad. Plus, when you get bored while doing work, there is a small ramp on the keyboard where you can literally take your fingers, skateboard and jump as well as do my right side. Coming on to the last point guys, As I've already said before, the most important feature of this keyboard are the keys. This keyboard has proper mechanical keys, as I have mentioned countless number of times now. And the most interesting part is the fact that it is nowhere mentioned on the box of the keyboard that it has Cherry MX blue switches. The internet is full of reviews of this keyboard stating that this keyboard has Cherry MX blues, but it is nowhere mentioned on the product itself. Now, when you go to the TVSe's website and dig quite a bit into it, then there it is written that it has cherry switches. All the other companies make it such a big deal that their keyboards have cherry MX switches, and here is TVSe casually mentioning it that it has arguably the best mechanical keys in its keyboard among all other variants available like reds, browns, etc., and also from one of the best companies producing the mechanical keys, that is Cherry themselves. Now, I guess this review won't really be complete unless I show you at least 10 seconds of typing montage, since this is the best part of this keyboard and its main selling point. So, just for 10 seconds, I am going to stop my yammering and you guys can enjoy the clicky tactile sound of the keys. Now, coming on to some of the things I particularly don't like about this keyboard, and yes, even at this price point, I have been able to find some things that are not good. First amongst which is that you can at the most press 3 keys at a time, and it will not register a 4th key at all, as you can see on the screen in front of you. Now, for someone who is using this keyboard just for typing purposes, this isn't a big deal. But for someone who is using this for gaming, oh dear, this simply just might be a deal breaker. The quality of the cable used is also not good, and it always gives you a feel that it will very soon get bad or cut or break. Something will happen. Also, the USB port at the end is also very flimsy and it does not at all give a good quality feel. Well, apart from this, you really can't say anything more about the negative points of the keyboard. I guess go for it if it is your first mechanical keyboard or just for the sheer pleasure of the typing feel of this board, as it really doesn't have anything more to give apart from this. So guys, this was all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it a bit informative. Hit the thumbs up button if you liked it, or hit the thumbs down button if you didn't like the video, and feel free to mention your queries, suggestions in the comments below. So until my next video guys, this is Nish saying peace out.